Well, good evening, everyone. How are you doing?
Hi.
How you?
Hello.
Hello.
Man, I've been looking forward to seeing y'all all since what, 2 weeks ago, whenever we did this again. Been
Yeah.
looking forward
Yep.
to today. I hope y'all had a wonderful day. To all of you watching us, thank you so much for letting us into your living room or your car or wherever you're at tonight watching us. We thank you. Couldn't do this without you. This is what, episode 12, season two. We are clicking right along. Glad y'all are along for the ride. Hey, if you don't mind, we would sure love for you to click that share button. If you're watching on Facebook, share us with your friends and get us out there. If you haven't liked us on this page, the Southern Gospel Forward Facebook page, please do that. And here's something. We're going to have a giveaway tonight. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, maybe if you can multitask and do that, the Southern Gospel Forward YouTube channel, that's going to be a part of this giveaway. So you're going to have to be a subscriber to the Southern Gospel Forward YouTube channel. So go do that. It's free. You might have to create a little login, but it's free. Don't cost you a thing. But hey, we appreciate y'all being with us. We appreciate our individual sponsors for episode 12. Some regular names on there: Daniel Garrett and Kyle Goodson, Daniel Hayes, and Lane Harcourt, and Andrew Potts. We thank them so very much for being such awesome supporters for us. But y'all are here not to hear me. You are here to see my friends, my co-host, but not me. You're here to see a very special guest that we have shared with y'all. This time, we didn't have to pull a fast one on you and have a substitute due to sickness. We are praising the Lord that He's well and great spirits. Please make welcome to our screen Christopher Taylor of Ernie Haase and Signature Sound.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Man, we are so tickled that you decided that you were willing to give us another go at it and try to share a night with us. So thank you so much for joining us. You are a blessing. And I have enjoyed seeing you over video. I haven't got to see you guys in person yet. I can't wait to do that. But just tearing it up on the road with Ernie Haase, Signature Sound. And we're going to get into a lot of questions from our panel. But what we always love to do is most folks watching are going to know who you are. But you are a new face to the Southern gospel industry. Not even a year yet, singing with Ernie Haase and Signature Sound. So, Christopher, if you would take a moment and just introduce yourself to the audience, just tell anything you'd like to about your background, how you got to be to where you're at today. Just take this time and tell us all about you.
All right. Well, thank you again for having me. My name is Christopher Taylor. I was born and raised Miami, Florida. Didn't do a lot of traveling until I got this job. So it's great to be able to travel, see the world, and love Southern gospel music. My dad sung it for 20 years, still sings it. So that's all I listen to and all I sing. So
Fantastic. And just doing an amazing job, y'all. If y'all have not seen Christopher yet, you can find snippets from boy, your first like out there concert was our live video recording at the Memphis Quartet show and just nailed it. I just really enjoyed that. And yeah, y'all look him up and go see him. But Christopher, we have our panel with us tonight, and they have prepared some questions for you. So we're just going to kick back and let them start off, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
All right.
All right. Well, I think I'm first tonight. So I'm going to change up my question a little bit this time. Still an easy question, kind of, you know. But my first question is going to be, what is your go-to karaoke song?
I'm sorry?
Your go-to karaoke song.
Karaoke song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even though I might sing on stage all the time, I would never do karaoke. That's always been something I've just like, I can't do that. It's amazing to watch, love it, but I would never do it. But if I had to choose a song to sing, oh, it's getting me nervous just thinking about it. Probably. Oh, you got me stumped here. Karaoke song, probably a Disney song.
Okay.
Always a
A
good
Disney
one.
song, but not a Disney princess one.
No. Don't do a Disney princess.
I don't have that voice for that. Can't do that.
I'd kind of like to hear that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe one day. We'll see.
Big sell ticket.
Be Prepared from The Lion King would fit you very well.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
there it is. That's the one.
Okay.
You know
Would fit you
it.
very well.
That's the one.
Good job, E.
I love it. So hopefully my question's a little bit easier. But if you could put together a Mount Rushmore of singers, so that's 4. Pick 4 singers that you would put on your Mount Rushmore. Who would they be?
100% putting George Yance. And I know it's from any genre, but like I said, I only listen to gospel, Southern gospel. So I would definitely put George Yance, Ernie Haase. Everyone's gonna think that I'm being biased, but it's the honest truth. If I'll make a Mount Rushmore, I'd probably make a quartet. So Ernie tenor, George bass. I'd put Jonathan Wilburn in lead. Love his energy, love his voice. And then I'd put Glenn Payne baritone.
I like it.
Okay.
So somewhere down the line, someone kicked a rock. Like, butterfly effect, someone kicked a rock. And so I see a world where Scott Fowler joins that like 90s Gold City lineup.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got Jonathan with the Cathedrals lineup of the 90s, somewhere down the line.
You're playing that what if Avenger series like they have on the Disney thing. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're just like switching things up. All right.
So you've been on the road almost nearly a year now. I'm thinking around there. So with being on the road a whole lot, you didn't travel, you said, as much as a kid. But now that you're traveling a lot, what is your favorite road trip snack?
Favorite road trip snack? Are we talking healthy, unhealthy?
I usually like to go the unhealthy route, but I know a lot of buses like the healthy route. So you can choose whichever.
Okay, I'll do you one better. I'll choose both. Let's start with healthy. Healthy, probably a protein bar, Quest protein bar, cookies and cream.
There we go.
Enjoy that one. Unhealthy, I'd probably go to a gas station and get me those small cheesecakes.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
I have the best memory with one of those cheesecakes with my best friend. We were coming back and we were sleep deprived, and I was driving and she was holding the cheesecake with one hand and I was trying to eat it with the other with a fork. And I saw this piece of cheesecake on the side of the carton and I kept trying to poke it and get it and I couldn't. And the reason I couldn't was because it was her thumb I was trying to eat.
And she didn't say that you were poking her thumb with a fork?
She was laughing, like, the silent laugh where you, no noise is coming out. And it was dark.
Well,
until I looked over, I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, I couldn't say anything because I was laughing so hard.
Well, in gas station cheesecake, you may get a little piece of thumb anyway. But anyway, go ahead and ask your question there, Avery. Go ahead and jump in there.
I guess I should recover from that. So
Please.
I'm going to go with the classic one that I have not asked in a while. If you had to sing with a retired or former group, who would you travel with and why? And I'm going to throw in the implication. It can't be the Cathedrals.
Oh, you got me there. I was going to say the Cathedrals, but
I thought with your Mount Rushmore, you'd lean in that direction. So
yeah. Oh, you're trying to switch everything up here. I'd probably say Gold City.
There you go.
There we go.
Gold
Which
City.
lineup?
Jay, Jonathan, Mark Trimo, and Tim.
yes,
Good lineup.
that
Good
one's
lineup.
solid.
Fantastic. Well, wow, we have blown through a round of questions, and we're only we're not even 10 minutes in this thing, y'all. So this fares good for our audience, though, because sometimes we're not able to hit some of their questions. And so, hey, who knows how that's going to go tonight? I know producer Jason probably has some. Now, he always pops up the hellos. Y'all remember, audience, used to, we kind of gave y'all, if y'all are saying hello, be watching. Jason is popping those up on the screen, but certain comments and questions, we'll try to pull that in as well. So what have you got for us, producer Jason? All right, Joyce Elaine Williams. Hi, everyone from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Happy to hear you interview Christopher. We are too. Thank you so much, Miss Joyce, for watching us. Claire George. Yeah, I like it. Good idea.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm with Chris on this one. Karaoke's not my strong point.
Oh, come on.
I know Evan and Aaron and I would do it for sure. I don't know.
There we
I
go.
will be up
Tiffany,
there.
you in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dan, and I like this. Thanks for putting this up, Jason. Daniel Mount says he has a question. On another interview, Christopher mentioned that he had 3 different bass techniques, but the interviewer moved to a different topic. He would love to know more. Are you okay with sharing that, Chris?
Yeah. How much time do I have to share about it?
Well, you can just however you want to go with it. If you want to be concise, I mean, I'm sure you could go deep in the weeds with technique, but however you want to do, it's your time, bud.
All right, so I do have 3 different techniques. I'd say I'm a bass singer, but I'm not like those low, crazy, low note singer like Steve Barnett from Promised Land, but I use some techniques. My main one is subharmonics. That's my main one. I use chest fry very rarely, but I know how to use that one, and I use growl. It's like a fire breathing technique, but my go-to is subharmonic. I've been practicing that since I was 16, and
Okay.
I can pretty much get around with it 95% of the time.
Now, number 1 and number 3, totally familiar with. Number 2, you said chest
fry.
Now that one is a new one to me. Okay, interesting.
So it's like a fry, like if you're trying to imitate like a creaking door or like a motorcycle, that's the tone you're looking for, but you want to add more of your chest voice to it. So you just sing a low chest voice and then add that fry to it, and it'd probably give you like 4 to 5 notes below your register.
Interesting. That is so interesting. I have been fascinated, Christopher. I don't know if you know Scoot Shellnut with Dixie Echoes. I don't know if you've come across him yet or not, but longtime baritone singer who has shifted to the bass because they do a lot of like the true old school 4-part harmony, which I know Ernie, y'all pull that in a lot in your harmonies as well. But they were having trouble finding folks to really fit that mold, so he shifted down. I was blown away the other day to see him in person and see the depth that he's got, but I believe he's using the subharmonics. I may be totally wrong, but I believe that's what he's been studying and using to really get it. And it's amazing, how it just shocked me hearing him for years as a baritone and some of the notes he was able to put out. So that's really cool. All right. Davis Ford saw Chris in Memphis. He was great then, but he's phenomenal now. So you've gone from great to phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yes.
Skipped amazing and just went all the way up to phenomenal.
That's awesome. Rachel Baines, that's Jason's wife. She always likes to talk about favorite scripture verses and hymns. And if you want to talk about why, and that's an awesome question to hear from you guys. So if you want to jump in on that.
Favorite scripture, I'd probably say 1 Corinthians 10:13 talks about how God will never let you go through something that you can't handle, and you can overcome any temptation if you have him by your side. So that's a good reminder to have whenever you're dealing with a problem, temptation, knowing that there's always a way out. And favorite hymn, I'd probably say Power in the Blood, because it's fun, has a cool bass line, and it's powerful words, and overall, amazing.
Very good. Thanks, Rachel, for asking your signature question. Nick Wilkie in the house and says, who's your top 5 favorite bass singers of all time?
This is an amazing question. And if my brother is watching, I think he is, we have a list, like an order of who do we put. And it changes like every week because we hear someone different or a new song. It's like, okay, no, they're moving up, they're going. It's like, but if I would choose right now, George Yon's first. Amazing bass singer. Everything is just great. I'd put Tim Riley second. Third, Jeff Chamman. Fourth, Eric Bennett, amazing singer. And fifth, there's so many good ones. I'd probably put Paul Harkey.
There you go.
I would agree with that.
That's a
100%.
darn good list right there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very good list. It would be.
Hey,
I'm
my
like
buddy.
you. Yeah, Steve Barnett. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
I saw your messages, Steve. I was just preparing here, but I appreciate your prayers.
We appreciate Steve joining in with us.
Love singing with him. He's great.
And I know our viewers sometimes may ask, when we pop these questions up for our guest, why do you read them? Because everybody can read the questions. And the answer to that is because we rip the audio off of this podcast and we put it on an audio only replay on Spotify and Apple and all that. So those folks can't read those questions. So that's why I kind of read through that so they'll know what's being asked and what's being answered. All right. Samuel Acosta, Chris, love you, brother. Can't wait to sing with you this coming Saturday. All right.
He sings with my dad. He's our tenor.
Okay.
We're going to sing together, Signature Sound and Living in Praise.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. That's awesome. Becky Masters is asking your favorite venue of your first year so far.
Ooh.
I have to say Memphis Quartet Show.
Yeah, that was huge.
I have to say it.
Yeah, they talking about Scoot. I know he's on the board that helps produce that, and they do just a really good job of Memphis Quartet Show. That is a lot of our young folks. I know we asked about one point who all had been to that, and a lot said they hadn't. So that should be in June. School's out. Y'all need to get up to the Memphis Quartet Show.
Lord willing, this year, crossing the fingers, praying, gonna probably get to go this year, and a lot of it is because of what Ernie did last year. That was just such an awesome album, and whenever I saw like all the things that happened, I was like, I should have went.
Yeah.
So don't regret it this year. Go to the Memphis Quartet Show. I know they're not a sponsor, but I'll do it.
They may be. We got time. They may get us before June. I think we got one more that we're going to put up right now. Haley Hollis, what bass singers do you look up to now? I think you'll be kind of match up there a little bit with who you're some of your favorite all time, but like right now, maybe like as you're working through and you're coming along and growing with Ernie in this position, are there maybe one or two that's really kind of taking you under their wing and mentored you?
In different aspects, yes. Singing wise, stay with George Yance. Performance, I'd probably say Tim Duncan, his stage and his character.
Yeah.
Amazing. And lows, got to put a Jeff Chapman technique, put in the mask.
Yeah.
Get down there.
Jeff is a beast. There's just no way around it. It's just amazing. Amazing. And you talk about Tim Duncan. I go back to the very beginnings of Ernie Haase and Signature Sound. Of course, go back way back with Ernie coming along through the years. But so, like the group, let's see, I need to move this way. If you look behind me right here is an original picture of, that's the group that got my son sold. Ernie and the guys, and not only the singing, but when we would go see them, how awesome they were to him. And that's one thing that I think I still see, at the venues with Ernie and all of you guys in the group really spending time with the young folks, which is a passion for us here at Southern Gospel Forward. So we appreciate Ernie and his mentorship to so many people through the years. So, let's, we'll just kind of mark some more questions and more comments. Y'all keep that going. Remember, now we always say share us on Facebook, like us on the page, but tonight, you really want to be a subscriber to the YouTube channel. We got a giveaway coming, and one of the requirements to be a winner of this giveaway is to be a subscriber on YouTube. So y'all go over and subscribe to us, Southern Gospel Forward on YouTube. Friends, let's go another round of questions. You ready, Tiffany?
I think so, even though my question was taken, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll pivot. Okay.
Pivot.
That's right. So I'm going to say, since it has been almost a year, what do you think was the best piece of advice that you have received?
Best piece of advice, stop worrying about the low notes. It'll come with age. Focus on being a singer. So I say that's the best advice I've gotten.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
So when I met you last year, it was like right before Memphis, and right off the bat, you reminded me a lot of myself in that you're a big student of the history of this music, and I've been a Signature Sound fan for a long time. So what songs from Signature Sound's past would you like to bring back to the stage if you could?
Right away, Plan of Salvation. You guys, my brother. Yeah, I was singing it today, like 10 minutes ago. I was just walking around the house singing it with it in my ear. Old Landmark. That one's fun. Trying to get a glimpse. Yeah. All those fun spirituals.
I love those.
Fun.
Goodness
Yeah,
gracious,
I'd like to
I
hear that.
love those.
So you I think this kind of is going down the in your past year of singing. I'm usually the funny guy if you haven't seen already. What is I know with the guys that you travel with, there's got to be some fun stories. What is the funniest story that has happened so far that you can tell on here and Ernie not get mad?
I don't know about that. But a lot of funny stuff, and that's what I love about the guys, that they're not just singers, they're real friends. They mess with you and joke with you all the time. Um, Funniest thing, sometimes I get upset, but then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that this is happening to me. As a bass singer, I nap before my shows. So because that's when I'm most rested, right when I wake up. And I'll be napping, and then our sound guy Andrew Goldman or Ernie or Doug, somebody just or Tyler yanks open my curtain of my bunk, tries crawling in my bunk or putting empty pizza boxes in there, or just doing stuff to not let me sleep. And I get a little cranky, but it's like, I'm happy that that's what they're doing.
There we go. I know Andrew pretty well. I'll tell him to ramp it up a little bit more.
Oh no, he already does a lot.
So, when you're at home, do you have any hobbies you like to participate in, or maybe some hidden talents not many people know about?
When I'm home, I sing with my dad's group, so continuing, gospel music and stuff. But outside of singing, very big into fitness, sports, weightlifting. Like today, I woke up, went to the gym, weightlifted, cardio, came home, did this. So hanging out with friends and just playing sports and working out. That'd probably be my hobbies. Hidden talent, I would usually say singing or bass singing, but now it's something I have to do for a living. But just working out and playing sports.
I think somebody asked earlier in the comments, what's the heaviest you lift, or something along those lines.
He was
Depends. Max bench is 255.
Come on.
Yeah.
They don't let you lug speakers after a concert or anything like that.
Yeah, that's my max bench.
Wow, there we go.
For one. Don't think I do it for many reps, just for one rep.
Hey, one rep's all the
Hey, there we go. Yeah. How about that? And I think there was one also, and I'm interested in it. It's like max squat. Me and one of my cousins he does a lot of that, and I just like comparing the numbers. I obviously don't go to the gym. I probably need to.
So I have a messed up knee. I messed it up playing soccer. But before that, I've squatted 315 for 6.
There we go.
But I mainly use machines. So like hack squat, I put 4 plates on each side, and max reps I've done was 12 on that. I'd say my legs are my strong point from soccer. So
yeah.
But still, kind of to translate that for any of the non-gym goers or people who don't know a lot about that, a strong guy right there. You don't want to get in a fight with this guy.
Not fighting.
No fighting, just
no
weightlifting competition. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's a good one right there.
Southern Gospel.
Very competitive.
I think at NQC we need a showcase, and it's weightlifting.
Oh,
weightlifting?
Karaoke, weightlifting.
I've got to see how many people actually participate in
my
that.
little 10-pound kettlebells above my head.
okay, Avery.
I know Steve Barnett is a power lifter. He's strong.
See
That's
what I mean?
That's exactly who I was thinking about. Yeah, no.
The showcase would just be Signature Sound, Triumph, and Quartet, and then Steve.
and Steve.
Yo.
Now, talking about the working out and the fitness. Now, back in the earlier days of Signature Sound, I know that it was a big thing a lot of times to hit a basketball gym when they got into town. And is that I know that the years have passed a little bit, but is that still something that you guys had a basketball gym every now and then?
They say they used to do it every night,
right?
But I haven't experienced that yet.
Okay.
I'm hoping I can, but there's been a few times where we've played. If we're in a location for more than one day or in the same city, we'll have time just to drive it so long. We'll find a gym, find a field, do whatever. Like we have a basketball on the bus, so whenever we're at a place, we'll go
Okay.
play. We always park at a Planet Fitness. But Doug is always up in the morning. I'm sleeping. I can't do mornings. So that's something different. But they still stay active.
Very cool.
Absolutely. That's good.
It's
Because we have to if we're doing all them getaway Jordan stuff on stage.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Ernie keeps y'all in tight shape with some of the. I remember the first time I saw them, I had asked Avery because she'd seen y'all before. I leaned over and I said, if I ever remotely tried to do that, I wouldn't be able to get through the first song.
It's tiring. Not to spoil anything, but we've been working on a song, and Ernie says that when they used to perform this song, he would have oxygen masks backstage. So when they're done, they would take it. And Ernie said that before they did a reprise of it, he would have it on the side and then take some oxygen and then continue the
Wow.
song.
Wow.
I cannot wait.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
What going back to a couple of those videos during that era, mercy with everything that went into the show. I used to, you think about things. It's like, how in the world or word are they getting not only just words out, but actually strong vocals and
Yeah.
staying in
A lot of
pitch and
breath
perfect
support.
harmony.
Mhm.
But it's because of what phenomenal shape that they stayed in,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of cardio, a lot of breath support, and you just got to do it. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it is, but once you do it and you're full of adrenaline and it's happening,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier. But after, when you're done, that's when, okay, let me take a sip of water, let me breathe. But
Well, I've always enjoyed Ernie's dedication to that part of the entertainment side. Obviously the absolute positively main goal is to present the gospel in song. I mean, that
Amen.
goes without saying.
yeah,
But I mean, you go back to the Statesman. I mean, go
They were
back
showmen.
and you look at those Nabisco videos. Hey,
Mhm.
they were showmen, yes, and
Yeah.
and they put countless hours of preparatory time into what they were going to do in the presentation of the song. So it's not like it was something, it's not like it was anything that was taken away from the Southern gospel tradition. It was actually going back to what Hovey and the guys put together many, many years ago, and I absolutely ate it up. I ate it up. I love it. And, I think it just helps draw in the crowd. You make a connection with the crowd and you draw them in, then you have their ears to be able to give them what you're there for. So,
exactly. And obviously the main goal is to bring people closer to God. And if we get one person to do that, we're set. But sometimes people go to a show, haven't laughed in months, haven't smiled in months. It's like, you got to make them happy.
Yes.
Make them happy. And my dad always says, leave them happy and then always finish happy at the end. And because you got to smile. Smile is the best medicine.
You hit the nail right on the head in this world we live in. It's just so easy to find the negativity and to be bombarded with it from the left and from the right in the workplace. I mean, on our if we open up our devices, whatever it is, and oh mercy, what a time, take us away for an hour and a half, and set that aside and let's smile and let's have joy. Let's have joy together in fellowship with the Lord. So yes, I love it. I'm a firm believer in it. So I really appreciate that. But how are we doing on comments? Jason, you got some lined up for us or some questions, or do we need to? Oh, here we go. Megan Edgeworth, your number one favorite signature sound song is. So you get picking one favorite. That's tough.
To hear, oh, what a savior.
Okay.
That's never going to change. That's favorite song in general. And to perform, I'd probably say Someday. That one's fun.
I love Someday. Yes, I'm so glad he brought that back years ago. All right, David.
Hey, parents.
Mom and dad, right? So thank you, sir and ma'am, for watching. We appreciate y'all so much and sharing Christopher with us. Now, his question, even though I know the answer, is what got you into singing subharmonics? And this has Anthony in parentheses.
That's my brother.
Okay.
He's the one asking the question.
He's asking the question.
So I'm afraid because he says he knows the answer. I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing now. Anthony, did you text me? What do you want me to say? But I watch a lot of Voice Play. They're an a cappella group, and Jeff Castellucci's their bass singer, and he does subharmonics. And when I heard that, I was like, what is this guy doing? How are you doing that? Also, Ken Turner, sung with the Blackwood Brothers, he uses subharmonics. And when I'm hearing this, they all sound similar when someone uses a subharmonic. And obviously you could distinguish the different person singing it, but it's like, you know that they're doing the same technique. It's like, what is that? I did research, found some videos, and then me and him were actually doing it together, me and my brother. And he picked it up first than me, but he didn't continue working on it. I continued hours a day, walking around, making weird noises, everybody telling me to be quiet. But I don't take back anything because now it got me here, and I'm so blessed to be able to sing subharmonics on stage.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You talking about walking around and just practicing it and doing it. I've always heard the folks who work like with Tim Riley and talking about how to he was trying to help them, get the placement correct, and them walking around constantly saying green, green, green.
Oh, I say green a lot.
Folks. Yeah,
I go like green, yeah, lots of that. But green's the biggest one.
Green's the biggest. Daniel Garrett, one of our individual sponsors, says, what is your favorite quartet song in general? Okay.
Favorite quartet song. So if I'm going to pick a quartet song, it's going to have to be, it's a recent one, 99.5.
Okay.
It was in Memphis. I got some pretty cool low notes in there. Ernie got some high notes, and Doug, he just sings that song, man. It's like, I thought you were supposed to be baritone, not tenor. But that's a great quartet song, great message to it, and it's fun. And when you really focus on each singer, it's like, what are they doing? It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
absolutely. And, all right, Jeremy Yoder, what was your favorite album growing up? Well, we're taking you all over the place with your favorites.
Favorite album, it was a Signature Sound album. It would be the Cathedral reunion one. Really enjoyed that one.
Love it.
I also like Pillars of Faith from Gold City and Radio Days from Cathedral.
Yeah, that one's so good.
You got too excited. I knew what he meant. There's a Radio Days by the Chuck Wagon Gang.
Well, Radio Days by the Cathedrals is equally
right. Yes, you got very excited.
Sorry.
Very excited there.
Okay, Claire George, she's got a question for you. How did you feel the first time that you sang with Ernie Haase and Signature Sound?
The feeling I felt the first day is still the feeling I feel now. It hasn't changed, and I don't think it's going to change. And I have that conversation with Ernie all the time. He says, like, other than himself, he sees that I'm always hungry for the music, for what I do. First time I sung, I wasn't supposed to sing. It was when I was in the interviewing phase. I just sung in sound check. We were just hanging out to see if, we were able to, coexist, because you want to travel with people you can get along with. And they had a show, and I was just helping at the table, and in an intermission, I get a phone call from Ernie. And I asked her, and he says, hey, you want to sing He Made a Change? Yes. And then he says, okay, go get Andrew's mic and then go backstage. And I couldn't find backstage. I couldn't find Andrew. I was freaking out. But I got on stage and I just sung it, and I was just like living my dream. It's like, there's no way I'm singing with Signature Sound.
It's so wholesome.
Cody Shanefeld, a friend of Southern Gospel Forge, says, just worked with Christopher last week at Praise Fest Branson. Great singing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Cody was filling in. Let's see now, at Praise Fest, Jim Brady, I think, actually sang with Greater Vision, but then Cody hit the road following, right? I think that's the way that worked out. So, yeah. John Sanderlin, this is our viewer from Alaska, right? I'm pretty sure. Christopher, I'm going to be in the lower 48 in December, and hopefully I will be able to come to one of your concerts. Yeah, if you can catch Yeah, if you can catch the Ernie Haase Signature Sound Christmas tour,
Oh.
fantabulous.
Oh, that one's great.
First and only time I ever saw the group, and I walked away, I was like, these guys are legit. That was my introduction to Ernie Haase and Signature Sound. So
Yeah,
Very difficult music.
yeah. Well, and I saw somebody put a question in, and you kind of hit on this a little bit, like your the first real concert, bona fide coming with the Memphis Quartet show with the live recording and how that was. And then right from there, you had to move in, I guess, into learning those Christmas tour songs and really jumping in.
And Decades of Love. And
yeah. I forget the Decades of Love. Now that I'm going to tell you, I thoroughly enjoy that album. I mean,
Me too.
I know it might not be everybody's what they want to spend. If you're Southern gospel and you're looking for Southern gospel, fine. But these love songs through the decades, done with respect to the classic sounds that they were released with, and done so well by a Southern gospel quartet. If y'all have not experienced that and you are a lover of music, you need to pick that up. I forget y'all do that tour as well.
Yeah.
So you had a lot to learn.
Oh man, I don't know how I did it.
Well,
God.
Okay. I'm going to take you.
On my own.
I'm going to take you down a trip. I'm going to take you down a path. All right. So this fascinates me. Now, I am Papaw. I am the old guy in the room. Now, when I was your age, and I'm singing, I guess I started singing at 14. I could consume lyrics like I was eating a chocolate candy bar. I mean, just boom, 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 coming. I was the lyric catalog. If somebody in the group needed a lyric, bam, look at me, I give it to them. Now, not so great at that. Things did not stick with me. So when you get pushed into the place to where you've got a big catalog of songs that you got to learn not only the parts, to the point to where you know the parts, you're not having to concentrate, you know where you're going, and you also have to get the lyrics, because if you're constantly trying to think what's the next lyric, it's going to throw you off as well. So what is your practice in consuming those lyrics and learning a big catalog?
So I'll just give you what I did for Decades of Love and Jazzy Christmas. I slept to the music. I played it on the side, the album, and I'd sing along or hum it until I fell asleep, and just constantly hearing it. At some points I dream about singing it. But there's sometimes where I don't know the lyrics, and I'll look to the guys and they'll whisper it and then I'll sing it. So it's a lot of stuff to learn, but it works out. But I think I can go back to an old question about a funny memory if I have time to share it. If that's
Absolutely.
all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a song that we were performing for the first time, and I knew it. We sung it in soundcheck. It went well, and that's why Ernie wanted to perform it. And we're singing it, and I have a solo. And my parents were at that show, and I'm singing, and I completely forget the lyrics. And I'm like, it wasn't like I stopped singing. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying. And then Ernie told me it while I'm supposed to sing it, and then I continued. And then at the end, I forgot it again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then at the end of the song, Ernie goes, hey, Christopher, how about you sing that solo again? And then I was like, oh my goodness. And I didn't remember it. It went away. So he walks right in front of me, because the tenor's in the other end. He walks in front of me, and then he's telling me the lyrics while I'm singing it. So that was a little funny thing. I got in my head and I messed up the lyrics 3 nights in a row.
No. Oh, no.
And I practiced it. I didn't sleep. I sung it, and I knew it. But when I got up there, I got nervous, forgot it. So, and now I haven't messed up since. So that's good.
That's good.
But I still get that little, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to be saying? But like what you said, the lyrics are important, because you're supposed to be, sharing the gospel, and the lyrics is what you're sharing. And if you don't know it, you can't share it to the people, and you can't connect with them.
Right, absolutely. You learn the lyrics to the point to where they're so strong in your heart and your mind, and you can paint the picture as you're singing it to those, and so you can convey the message of the song. But yeah, I guess that I never have really thought about that. But for someone singing and having a glitch or a hiccup, I could see that. You say getting in your head. I guess that's kind of like a sport, an athlete. When you get in a swinging slump or something like that, it can kind of get in there and kind of mess with you a little bit. I could see that. Yeah. But I've always been fascinated, especially like right now, you talking about Cody filling in for Greater Vision, and you have several guys that's just going out for a weekend. So, I mean, a complete catalog, well, not complete, but a big catalog is thrown at somebody. And we're familiar. It's different being familiar and singing along in the car, and then you are
actually performing it.
And part.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not just singing the lead line, silently, under your breath. You are singing a part full on, and if you drop that part, you're the only
person. The harmony.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that always fascinates me. I have a cousin who has a really or used to have a really crazy ability that in the moment of time that if he lost lyrics, he would just start making stuff up on the fly, kind of like that Whose Line Is It Anyway they used to do, like that stuff just off the hip, just going. But I mean, and the crazy thing was 7 times out of 10 it made sense and it worked. I mean, but just keeping on going. Bradford probably know who I'm talking about, but anyway, he
I immediately knew who you were talking
about. Yeah, he was amazing. But
I do it, but I only get it right about 1 times out of 10.
You talk about songwriting on the fly, that's tough. Jason, we got time. You can throw a couple more. Okay, David's coming back, and he says he attests that Christopher walked around the house making weird noises, learning those harmonics, but it paid off. You are a great bass vocalist, and I'm so proud of you, Puppy. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Brother David. That means much. Caden Howell, we love Caden Down East Boys, and he says met first time at Lawrenceburg at the Vaughn Festival and was impressed with his humility, which I always love in a Southern gospel artist, and his genuine love for the music. Instantly became a friend. The future is in good hands.
Great person.
Thanks so much, Caden, for sure. And Caden also has that humility, and that humility part I added in about how much I love. But I love to see humility in the artist, and that's good stuff. Caden's a great guy. Okay, is that good? We got them all? All right. Well, y'all keep them coming if you want to. Team, can we go one more round of questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's think on this real quick for our viewers. Remember, we're getting really close to a giveaway that you want to have an opportunity on. You won't have an opportunity unless you can show the judge, who happens to be Pepaw, that you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, Southern Gospel 4. Very simple. If you have a Gmail email, you've already got an account that you can use for YouTube, basically. If not, it's very simple to get your user account on YouTube, and you just subscribe to us. And you want to do that because we got a giveaway coming up. So let's move on to another round of questions, Miss Tiffany.
All righty. I guess I'll go back to my signature question and make everybody hungry. So I consider myself the residential baker for the group. So if you had to pick your favorite dessert, what would it be?
Cheesecake.
I figured. Is there a certain type you like, or just like you're like a New York style plain?
It doesn't matter. I just love cheesecake. Anything with cheesecake I'll take it. Doesn't matter what's on it.
Have you had Culver's ice cream with the cheesecake bits in it? Because that is my favorite food in Culver's.
No.
I have a place called Menchie's. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but we have a Menchie's here in Florida, and I put the cheesecake pieces on it.
No,
it's like a frozen yogurt place.
Like a Sweet Frog.
I'm not sure what.
Oh, nobody.
It sounds like it.
I know what Sweet Frog. I know Sweet Frog.
Must
Yeah.
be the north.
Yogurt Mountain.
Yeah, we have yogurt mountains here.
Oh, okay.
That's what our frozen. Well, I don't even think I've seen a yogurt mountain
I
in.
got that one.
Yeah, we got that one in Coleman. That's it.
No, it's not.
It's not even there.
No, it's
yeah.
in Garden.
You're right.
Oh,
It's hard to find frozen yogurt in Alabama. So if y'all are ever singing in Alabama, don't come for frozen.
don't look for frozen yogurt.
Don't look for it here.
All right, rescuing us from the hunger. So you're probably in a similar situation to me as far as having a lot of friends who have no idea what this music is all about. So if you could pick 3 albums to give those people an example of what Southern Gospel is as you understand it, what 3 albums would you recommend?
I'd recommend my favorite ones: Radio Days, Cathedrals, Pillars of Faith, Gold City, and it'd be easier to share with them because I'm on it. So I'd give them Live in Memphis.
Yeah. That segues my next question perfectly. I was listening to Live in Memphis today, just to kind of hear you get to hear something, because I love the album. I'm a huge Elvis fan. I love the city of Memphis, so I like the album cover is so epic. But in there, Ernie said no pressure, because this was like, was it not your first ever live concert in front of people?
Yeah, my first show.
What was the deal of pressure? Like, how did you deal with that? Because not only did you have Ernie and his groups that you were singing with, you had a legendary Oak Ridge Boy, Blackwood Brothers, a legendary Cathedral, all in the same concert. That's also your debut, and the guy who was before you. So what was the pressure like, and how did you deal with that?
So I was never somebody that sang in front of anybody, like never happening. Like at my church, they would push me to sing, and I'd never sing. I never wanted to sing in front of anybody. And finally I decided to sing, and I sung on the 4th pew back, 4th row, just with my head down, with the microphone here, hands in my ear like JD, and just doing whatever. And then slowly went on stage, very still, and then started singing with my dad. So I feel like God, allowed me to get comfortable with singing in front of people and with people, especially with that music, to allow me to have that show, especially it being a live album with one of the best Southern gospel groups in the world. But the pressure was there, with all those people, but lots of prayer. They prayed with us before we went on stage, and brother prayed with me, family was there, and it was great.
Fantastic. So beautiful. That was, I want to just give a flower. That album has been one of my most listened to recently. That is it's less of an album and more of a musical journey of, I feel like, kind of the Memphis area in music, which is very underrated to Southern gospel. Memphis, I mean, had a lot of legendary icons there, especially up until about the 1970s. I mean, the Blackwood Brothers have won more Grammys than heck Elvis, who's from Memphis. So that's a big flower to Ernie. Very well put together album. And if he's watching, thank you for Live in Memphis. That was an awesome album.
I love the live albums where it's not just the music, you hear what they're talking about, you hear the reactions on stage, and it's great.
So I'm going to roll kind of in a similar direction as Aaron. Being from Miami, I personally watch people like Southern gospel artists, like where they're going next, their tour schedule quite frequently, and try to update my calendar as often as I can. And I don't really ever see a ton of groups going to Miami. Like they'll go to Tampa and they'll go to Orlando, but they never really drop that far south. So I know you said you grew up singing in church, singing with your dad. You just grew up with Southern gospel music, but I know for Evan and I, there's a lot of Southern gospel singings around, but there was never young people at it. And that's kind of why we wanted to form this group. So now we know Aaron and Tiffany, who are in Virginia, and we have friends across the country. How has it been building a community for yourself with other young people who enjoy it? Or were there young people in Miami? I guess the question I'm trying to get at is, what is the Southern gospel scene in South Florida?
I got all the love for it from my dad. He sung it for 20 years, and I'm 20. So when I was born, I was already hearing it. And he's the director of the group. So they'd always practice at the house. So the group would always come, they'd always sing, and me and my brother would just sit there and listen. And my brother, he's around my age, 2 years older than me. So we are more of the friend group that listen to gospel music. But not a lot of my friends really listen to it like around my age. Now they're starting to because I'm singing it now,
Right.
but it was mainly just a family thing.
That was for us. It was a family thing. Yeah. So that's great. And now I hope we have introduced you to a community of other people, around your age who enjoy this music and love it too. And that's
great.
Absolutely. That's what we are all about. Absolutely promoting the artist, and we love all artists of all ages, but we have an affinity for the younger artist, and want to help you guys out, and then absolutely grow that fan base and grow the young folks. It's been a blessing to do that. So I think we may have one or two questions or comments that we might put up real quick, and then we'll move into another quick direction. Andrew Goldman, sound man extraordinaire, says Chris.
Hey, he actually said my name instead of Gerber.
Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know if you wanted that out publicly. We saw Eli Fortner a couple weeks ago, and he said to tell you, "Hey Gerber." And so I was going to say, what's your nickname on the road, and why is it Gerber?
Gerber baby food.
Yep.
Gerber baby food.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question from Haley Hollis, one of our young fans. If you could live somewhere besides Florida, where would it be?
From the places I've traveled and the people that I've met, and the environment being different, I love Ohio and I love Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I have my brother is starting to be a pastor in Tennessee, Chattanooga, and my aunt's there. So those two places would probably be somewhere where I'd move if I have to. So
I love the mountains of East Tennessee.
Yes.
So beautiful. Andrew Goldman, who's your favorite tour manager?
I don't know. That's hard. I've only had one, so I guess I have to choose the one that I'm with. But
You should. It's now.
it'd probably be Andrew.
Your answer should have been the next one.
That's better. No, I love Andrew. I love him.
It's hard not to love Andrew Goldman.
Yeah,
I've known Andrew since before I was deep voiced and an adult. How old was I when we met him?
It was like 2014, 2015.
Yeah. So I was probably 10 years old. So it's hard not to love Andrew Goldman. If you don't love Andrew Goldman,
great.
You're the problem. I'll say that.
He was one of the first people that made me feel comfortable on the bus.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
That is awesome.
Great person.
So Christopher, we've started something in the very beginning of Southern Gospel 4. We didn't start it. Trevor Conkle started it. And I think I sent this to you in the script, kind of giving you maybe a little prep in case you wanted to play along. But he just caught us off guard and turned the tables and asked us to question, and I think Aaron is the only one on this panel that you're familiar with, and really knew before coming on tonight. So maybe there's a question you have in your pocket that you'd like to send our way.
Maybe, possibly.
Okay.
So I would ask, but I can't ask Aaron because I know that's what he does. But do you guys also sing Southern Gospel music? Or do you just enjoy it or like it? Like, do you sing it?
Okay.
I think Tiffany can grab that one.
Yes.
Tiffany, go first.
Yes, I do. I sing with my family.
Sponsor.
Yes, a sponsor for tonight. So it's my two parents. That didn't make sense. My parents. Sorry,
Not all four of them, just two of them. All right, go ahead.
It's been a day. So my parents, and then my older sister also sings with us. And sometimes Aaron sings the bass part. Sometimes.
All right.
Sometimes.
I am very. I do sing, but I do not aspire to sing professionally unless the Lord just absolutely shoves me in that direction and says, "No," He does me like Jonah. It's like you're going. I did fill in with the Chuck Wagon Gang singing alto back. It's been over a year ago now. That was crazy cool, but learning the parts were insanely hard because they're tight harmonies. But yeah, I sing in church. That's where I feel most comfortable.
Nevin?
And I have also filled in and sang. I say I'm a wannabe bass singer. I wish I had notes like you, but I've filled in with Troy Burns' family and gotten on stage with a couple of groups. And actually, the first group I ever sang with was when Andrew was with the Perrys, and I got to sing with him, Troy, and Libby at a big concert, and that was like one of my favorite nights in the world. But yeah, I'm one of those. I would love to sing, but God's opened more doors in my life where I can share talents in other pathways. But if it's one that He ever wants me to sing, I'm not closing that door for Him, because that's a way to promote the gospel.
Absolutely. Well, I hear you got that placement up there.
Yeah, I'm
you got it.
He is the kid who walked around making the weird noises too.
You got it. You're making me jealous. I wish I had that talking voice.
I wish I had Evan's talking voice. Yeah, all of this panel, Tiffany, Avery, and Evan, and Aaron are very talented young people and fantastic. They really are fantastic singers and fantastic, humble human beings. Me, I've sung in some regional groups. I've never really had the chops. I don't feel like to do it, mainstream full time. Love the music, love being behind the scenes and helping everybody else achieve and be successful, and just cheering on from the background. That's what I love. But I'd love to sing. I just don't really love for folks to hear me sing, and they would agree. So anyway, no.
I do have a question now for Aaron to not leave him out.
Sure.
I know you sing baritone, but you obviously can go pretty low, can hear in your talking voice, and I've heard you sing some bass stuff. What part would you prefer to sing? Not just from those two, but just any part in general.
Oh, I would love to actually be able to sing bass, but yeah, baritone's just kind of where I landed.
Yeah.
A few the proud, the baritones.
Yeah, something like that.
But the great thing about that with Aaron too, listening to that voice, is he's able, baritone, because that's what I would label myself. And baritone is all over the place, depending on what group you sing in and how the harmonies are arranged. I mean, some baritone, you look as a baritone at some of the parts that Fowler and Trammell had to hit with the cathedrals. They were listed as the baritone, but they were hitting some pretty high notes.
I've always said Mark Trammell is a sheep's and wolf clothing. He's always, I'm a baritone. He can hit tenor notes.
Sure. But
he's got that range. But he can hit nearly bass notes. Yeah, he can sing all four parts. That's why he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and Aaron's got the highs. But one thing about Aaron's round low voice is for the groups that have the lower harmonies, and the more rounded harmonies. That low end he's got, provides that. So yeah, it's got a good foundation. But now I think Promised Land has him singing pretty high. So anyway, he can do it all.
Because our tenor arranges all of our stuff, and he doesn't like to give himself a break. So
because he's amazing.
He is.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Fantastic.
That group is amazing.
Look at here,
very good.
Mr.
My buddy,
man,
Jeff Chapman's in the house.
That's the man.
Legend.
Yeah. Great.
We love Jeff, and we thank him for watching as well. In just a second, we want to give you an opportunity to share all things Ernie Haase and Signature Sound, and got the giveaway coming up, and we'll talk about that. I do want to ask, I haven't asked a whole lot of questions. I want to ask one quick question. This I don't think will take very long, but I'm a watcher. I watch tables. I watch artists. Always have been. Ernie comes across to me like an encourager. I mean, he just really comes across to me as being someone who feels a sense of duty to encourage and to be positive and to lift others up. I've just seen it. I've heard him talk. I've seen him take time with people. So you, as a young man getting on that bus, and you're getting to experience that firsthand, maybe if there's any, a lot of young people right now are watching and will watch on the replays. And a lot of them are aspiring singers. A lot of them would love the opportunity to be doing what you're doing. Or to be on another bus or singing at some point in time. Maybe share something that Ernie has led you or mentored you or encouraged you with for somebody out there, a young person, a young teenager or older teenager that may have aspirations of singing Southern gospel music, what would you say to encourage them that Ernie has shared with you?
So it would be something that Ernie said to me. It would be to keep on singing, keep singing. And first night I met him was in Fort Myers about a little over a year ago, like a year and like 10 days. I posted on my Instagram saying it was a year ago when I first met Ernie. And I grew up listening to him, but I never really met him in person because, like I said, I never traveled and they never really came down to where I live. And it was busy, packed, hundreds of people were at that show. And we had a very minimal time, and I shook his hand, and I told him that I'm, Christopher, I sing bass, sing with my dad. And then he didn't have enough time to say anything, but he told me, you keep singing, you keep singing. I stayed back a little bit, and then about 30 minutes when it started to cool down, he came up to me and they said, "Hey, you're that 19-year-old kid? You sing, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And I asked him if it was okay to show him my stuff. And I showed him stuff, and that's how it all happened. So what
Wow.
I would say to people is keep singing and talk to people, know people, meet people, because that's what's gonna get you connected to things. Because if you stay laid back, you're not gonna be able to experience things. And I got out of my comfort zone and I went up to him telling him that I sung and I did this and that. And then God was able to give me the opportunity and open all these doors for me to be able to sing with him. So that's what I'd
Fantastic.
say.
That's fantastic. Yeah, you never get a chance at an opportunity that you don't take a chance to pursue. I mean,
Yeah.
you just you have to go. So that's very good. Very good advice. All right, y'all. My last call. We're going to have a giveaway in just a moment, and you're going to want this, I think. So if you have not subscribed yet to the Southern Gospel Forward YouTube channel, you might want to do it now because you're going to have to show Papaw that you have subscribed if you are the winner. Do what?
I'm subscribed.
Are you subscribed?
Oh,
You
yeah,
better
I
be.
think.
All of us should have like 10 accounts subscribed to the Southern
Exactly.
Gospel Forward channel. So, get
I
us
thought
up
that's
there.
that's what I had to do to be able to get on this interview. So I thought that's what you guys had to do.
Yeah. I'm
Ah.
subscribed. Yep.
Look at there.
Looky
Okay.
there.
All right.
Look right there.
Hey, who's that handsome guy right there?
What in the world? I do like the tuxes, man. Those are sharp.
Yeah.
The white suit
Great.
tux, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a nice look.
Artwork is amazing as always on that project. So speaking about that project, Christopher, we would love to give you an opportunity. Look, you've given us time out of your evening, and you've been wonderful, man. It's been great to get to know you, and our viewers get to know you. We appreciate your generosity of time, and we appreciate Ernie's willingness for you to be with us too. That means a lot. We would love to give you an opportunity to share with us anything you'd like to share or promote. I think you and Aaron actually have a joint concert coming up that y'all might can talk about, but we want to give you just a few moments to promote all things Ernie Haase and Signature Sound that you'd like to talk about.
So I do shout outs. Is that what you're asking?
Well, no, just like promoting, like we got your website ready to go that we can throw up for you or talk
Promote
about
the
your social
website.
media.
There it is right there, the website. Go look at tour dates if you're nearby. Go to a show. You're going to be blessed for sure. Definitely go to the show with Ernie Haase, Signature Sound, and Promised Land. That's going to be great. We're going to do songs together. You're going to be able to hear some good gospel music. Follow everybody on their socials. You could find their bios and their information on Signature Sound's website. But just get to know us and go see us, and it's going to be a blessing.
Absolutely. Aaron, do you want to speak a little more on that concert coming up too? You and Chris together?
Yeah. And we've been talking about it on the show for a little bit, but next Saturday night, and I actually saw somebody on the YouTube comments who says he's coming down from Ontario for this. So that'll be really cool.
Wow.
But Saturday night, March the 29th at Five Forks Church in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. You've got the ticket prices right there. You can either call or go online. I did put the link in the Facebook comments, but you can go to promiselandquartet.com or go to our Facebook page, and we have a link to order tickets online there. And I will encourage you to get the VIP tickets, because not only do you get in early, but you also get meet and greet with both artists. And I can say from experience, having done this for multiple years with Ernie and the guys, they are some of the best to do meet and greets with, because they make you feel like you're part of the group, and they make it really feel like a family environment, just hanging out and asking questions and just getting to know the guys on a one-on-one level. And it's really, really worth that extra price of admission for the VIP tickets to sit up front, get in early, and do the meet and greet. So yeah, come out and join us. We're going to have a great time next Saturday night. So I hope to see a lot of you there.
Absolutely. And talking about that Live in Memphis tour that they're currently on, there is the artwork for the current project, the newest project from Ernie Haase and Signature Sound, Live in Memphis, recorded live at the Memphis Quartet Show. Fantastic project. Special guests appear. So I know Scott Fowler appears and Paul Harkey comes back for a song. Even brother Dwayne Allen of the Oak Ridge Boys sings with Ernie and the guys on this project. So fantastic. Y'all go look that up and get that and all of the products that they have on the website up there. So speaking about the Live in Memphis project, this is what we're going to give away tonight. I'm going to give away a CD. I bought one for myself the other day, and I said, well, why don't I buy two? So that way I would have one. I knew we were going to have Christopher on, so I wanted to do that. Producer Jason, will you pop up a message from Brother David? It looks like he was promoting something, and in honor of Chris, I'd like to do that too. So let's join us for Live in Miami on March 22nd.
Ooh. Is it going to be warm down there?
So it's warm right now. I think it's 80 degrees over here.
I'll be there.
But
all right.
But it's going to be great. It's going to be just like Memphis. It's going to be a live album. It's going to be at my home church. It's going to be great. And my dad's group, Living in Praise, they're going to open, and then Signature Sound's going to sing, and then we're going to come together and sing together. So it's going to be a great experience. If you can make it, go. It's going to be March 22nd, this Saturday. It's coming up pretty close, but
yeah,
it'll be great.
Fantastic.
Give me directions to Miami, Florida.
Very good. So here's the way that we're going to do this giveaway tonight. I have a trivia question that someone's going to have to give me an answer on. If you answer this trivia question, I'm going to ask you to provide me some type of proof, maybe a screenshot in a messenger message or something that you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Okay, that I told y'all this whole thing, that's a requirement. So please don't be the first or second or however many to answer if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel. That's a requirement. So Live in Memphis CD, going to the person who can answer this question, Ernie Haase, founder of Signature Sound. You know him well from his days with the Cathedral Quartet. And then he had a solo ministry. And then he sang with Jake and the guys and George with the Old Friends Quartet. And then he founded Signature Sound. But before the Cathedral days, Ernie actually sang with 3 different groups before the Cathedrals. If you can name me one of those groups, you will win the CD. One of the 3 groups Ernie Haase sang with before coming to the Cathedrals.
Oh.
All right.
Everybody's searching on Google right now.
I've got the first thing that I saw was actually from looks like a radio station, Southern Gospel Station. And I'm guessing it might be like me that has Southern Gospel Forward. That might be an individual. So Southern Gospel Station, I'm going to call you first because you said the Dixie Melody Boys, and that is one of the 3.
Let's go.
And Braves Fan 98, Zach, I know who that is. He's going to be second in line with Squire Parsons and Redeem because that was the second one. All right, so now we've got our first and second place. Southern Gospel Station, if you can send me showing me that you're subscribed on YouTube and who you are. Jeremy Yoder. Okay, Jeremy, if you'll show me that you're subscribed in a little message or something on Facebook or some way, we'll get you and you'll be the winner. Zach's second up. Can anybody tell me the third group? We've got
I think did Jeff Snyder, do I see him in the comments from you?
You saw him, but it wasn't right.
Oh,
it wasn't the one. It's not the one that I'm looking for.
I tried to give it to you, Jeff.
I knew DMB. I did not know Squire Parsons and Redeem. And you would think I would have known that. I did not.
Aaron, do you know the third?
I'd have to think.
You're kind of a historian there.
I know. I thought he did sing with Earthlight, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, maybe Earthlight was not in the three that I found on. Guess where I found it?
SGhistory.com.
SGhistory.com. That's right. The Nobleman.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
The sound.
The Nobleman. Yeah. So all right. So Jeremy Yoder is our winner. Pending showing me that proof. So we thank y'all for participating in that. And Chris, I hope that you have had as much fun with us as we've had with you. It's been a joy getting to know you tonight.
It was great. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone watching tonight. So we have our next episode lined up for April Fools, April the 1st. April
and
Fools.
You never guess the fool we're having on.
So just like we had to reschedule Chris because he got sick last time, we had another guest that we had lined up, and he came off the boat and got sick as well. So we have rescheduled, fittingly, Alan Kendall for our April Fool's guest on Southern Gospel Forum. So y'all mark your and make sure you join us for that. And I want to say, hey, Priscilla, she's jumping on. We love our young Priscilla. She's part of our Southern Gospel family. Thank you so much. And love Leah, one of our guest hosts on vlogs and hosted with us here. Thanks so much for jumping on. But Chris was
telling me how much she loved this episode. She was like, this has been so fun.
Good. I'm glad. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoy this. We love y'all. We just want to sit back and enjoy, promote these Southern Gospel artists, show them the love, and also just show you some love and grow this the fan base of this great music, not for anybody else's glory, but for the Lord, for Him to be glorified and for more to know Jesus Christ as Savior. That's our goal and our passion. Thanks so much for Chris joining us, and y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode and head on out. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Thank you so much for joining us here on Southern Gospel Forward. We will see you next time.